Good evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about a concept that's often misunderstood but holds incredible power. It's not flashy. It doesn't demand attention. Yet it's one of the most transformative traits a person can possess. That concept is humility. Now, when we hear the word humility, some of us might think of weakness or passivity, but I want to challenge that notion. Humility is not about diminishing yourself or pretending you're less capable than you are. It's about having a grounded sense of who you are, your strengths, your flaws, and the constant possibility of growth. Humility builds trust and deepens connections because it reflects an authenticity that is undeniable. When someone operates from a place of humility, they acknowledge that their worth is not diminished by admitting they don't know something or that they need help. Instead of trying to project an air of invulnerability or perfection, a humble person conveys that they value the contributions, insights, and perspectives of others. This vulnerability fosters a sense of safety in relationships, whether personal or professional. People feel comfortable opening up, sharing their ideas, and working collaboratively with someone they trust not to dismiss or undermine them. Trust is not something that can be demanded, it's something that must be earned. Humility is one of the quickest ways to begin building that foundation. Consider a leader who takes the time to recognize the efforts of their team rather than taking all the credit for success. That leader implicitly tells their team, "I see you and I value what you bring to the table." Such a leader is not only respected but also trusted, as their humility signals they're in this journey with their team, not above them. Beyond professional dynamics, humility plays a critical role in personal relationships. It can often be the difference between relationships that endure challenges and those that fall apart. Humility makes it possible to approach conflicts with a mindset of mutual respect and willingness to see the other person's perspective. When someone is humble, they're more likely to listen actively rather than preparing a defensive response. This form of deep, empathetic listening demonstrates that they care about understanding the other person, even if they disagree. And this kind of connection is the basis of trust, the feeling that someone is in your corner and truly values your voice. Think about the opposite of humility, arrogance. Arrogance creates walls. It sends a signal that someone believes they are better, smarter, or more capable than others, even if it's not explicitly stated. People tend to shut down or withdraw around arrogance because it feels unsafe. Who wants to share their thoughts or feelings with someone who already assumes they're right? But humility tears down those walls. It opens the door to collaboration and connection by inviting others to be part of the process, whether it's solving a problem, creating something new, or simply navigating life's challenges together. Humility also nurtures connections because it allows people to admit their imperfections. It's rare to meet someone who has never made a mistake, who has all the answers, or who doesn't struggle from time to time. But society often encourages us to act as though we have it all together, even when we don't. This pressure can be isolating, making people feel like they're the only ones facing certain challenges. Humility, however, breaks down that facade. It allows people to admit when they're struggling and invites others to step in and help. And here's the irony: admitting weakness doesn't drive people away, it often draws them closer. People appreciate honesty and the courage it takes to be vulnerable. It's refreshing in a world where so many hide behind masks of invincibility. In professional settings, humility strengthens team dynamics. Imagine a work environment where everyone feels their voice matters, where leaders aren't afraid to say, "That's a great idea, I hadn't thought of that," or "You're right, I made a mistake." Such an environment not only fosters trust, but also inspires innovation. People who trust their colleagues and leaders are more likely to take risks, share creative ideas, and go above and beyond because they know they're supported. They understand that even if their ideas aren't perfect, their contributions are valued. Humility also enables people to handle success in a way that maintains trust and connection. Success, after all, has the potential to make people feel distant from others. When someone achieves something significant, there's a tendency to focus inward and take all the credit. But those who remain humble recognize that success is rarely a solo endeavor. They express gratitude and acknowledge the role others played in their journey, whether it's their team, mentors, or even the people who challenged them to grow. This gratitude solidifies trust because it reinforces the idea that relationships matter more than accolades or achievements. Moreover, humility fosters the ability to seek help and guidance, strengthening connections over time. Far too often, people resist asking for help out of fear. It will make them seem incapable or weak. But humility turns this narrative on its head. By asking for support, people signal that they trust and value the person they're asking. This request for help creates an opportunity for connection and strengthens the bond between individuals. The person offering help often feels a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment, knowing they were able to make a difference. In every aspect of life, humility unlocks the kind of trust and connection that serves as a foundation for meaningful relationships. It enables us to show up authentically, to celebrate others, and to invite collaboration rather than competition. When people feel they can trust us to value their ideas, acknowledge their strengths, and recognize their humanity, it opens doors to deeper and more enduring relationships. Curiosity fueled by humility drives continuous growth because it encourages us to embrace the unknown with an open mind. When we approach life and its challenges with humility, we are free to admit that we don't have all the answers. This admission, far from being a limitation, becomes a gateway to exploration and learning. A curious mindset rooted in humility allows us to ask questions not to affirm what we already know, but to seek understanding. It shifts our focus from proving our competence to expanding it, enabling us to grow beyond the boundaries of our current knowledge and abilities. Humility strips away the fear of being wrong. One of the most significant obstacles to growth is the discomfort of uncertainty or the potential embarrassment of admitting we don't know something. But humility reframes that dynamic. It reminds us that no one is expected to know everything and that asking questions is not a sign of weakness, but a pathway to greater understanding. A humble individual doesn't feel diminished by acknowledging gaps in their knowledge. They see those gaps as opportunities to learn and improve. This mindset fosters a relentless curiosity, a drive to explore new ideas, perspectives, and experiences that enrich our understanding of the world and ourselves. Curiosity also deepens when we approach others with humility. Instead of assuming we have all the answers, humility encourages us to recognize the vastness of what we don't know and the value of what others can teach us. Every person we meet carries unique experiences, knowledge, and insights. When we approach interactions with an open and humble curiosity, we create space for meaningful exchanges that broaden our horizons. Whether it's through hearing a perspective we hadn't considered or learning about an entirely unfamiliar topic, these moments of curiosity-driven engagement contribute to our growth in ways we might never anticipate. Humility's connection to curiosity also enables us to confront and question our assumptions. It takes humility to admit that the way we see things might not be the only way or even the correct way. This acknowledgement drives curiosity because it compels us to dig deeper, to explore why we believe what we believe and whether there's more to the story. For example, we might challenge long-standing biases or reevaluate decisions by seeking out diverse viewpoints. This kind of self-reflective curiosity often leads to greater insight and wisdom because it's grounded in a willingness to grow, even if it means letting go of old ideas or admitting we were wrong. In professional settings, humility-fueled curiosity is a key ingredient for innovation and progress. Industries evolve, markets change, and technologies advance, often at a rapid pace. Those who cling to a belief that they already know everything risk falling behind. However, individuals and organizations that prioritize curiosity over certainty stay agile. They experiment, explore alternatives, and ask what-if questions that drive breakthroughs. Leaders who model humility encourage their teams to adopt this mindset, creating an environment where learning is valued and failure is seen as a stepping stone rather than a dead end. Curiosity guided by humility also impacts how we respond to challenges and setbacks. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to react with defensiveness or discouragement, especially if we feel our competence is being questioned. But humility allows us to set aside ego and approach problems with curiosity instead of blame. Rather than focusing on the failure itself, we become intrigued by the factors that led to it. What went wrong? What can we learn from this? How can we do better next time? This inquisitive approach not only facilitates growth, but also cultivates resilience as we begin to see challenges as opportunities for development rather than roadblocks to success. On a broader scale, humility fuels curiosity by enabling us to appreciate the vastness of the world's complexity. When we acknowledge how much we don't know about science, history, art, culture, or even the people closest to us, we begin to see every moment as a chance to learn something new. This outlook makes life richer and more fulfilling because it transforms the ordinary into something extraordinary. Every conversation, book, or experience becomes a potential source of insight and inspiration, propelling us forward on our journey of continuous growth. The relationship between humility and curiosity has a compounding effect over time. The more we learn, the more we realize how much there is still to learn. This realization doesn't discourage us. Instead, it deepens our curiosity and strengthens our commitment to growth. It's a cycle of learning and discovery that continuously broadens our understanding and perspective. Admitting mistakes showcases strength, not weakness, because it demonstrates authenticity, courage, and a commitment to growth. When someone acknowledges their errors, they embrace the reality that no one is perfect, and that perfection isn't the standard by which success or character should be measured. It takes a great deal of inner strength to admit when we are wrong, especially in a society that often values image over substance. Yet, this act of humility can transform the way we are perceived by others, inspire trust, and set the stage for meaningful progress in both personal and professional contexts. Admitting a mistake starts with a mindset shift, one that requires releasing the fear of judgment or criticism. It's natural to want to appear competent and capable, but pretending to be infallible doesn't create connection or build credibility. It does the opposite. When people see someone owning their missteps, they often view it as a sign of maturity and self-awareness. This act sends the message that the individual values truth and accountability over protecting their ego, which is a strength in itself. In contrast, when someone refuses to admit mistakes, they risk coming across as defensive, untrustworthy, or unwilling to grow. Acknowledging mistakes also signals responsibility. Rather than shifting blame or making excuses, admitting an error shows that the individual is willing to take ownership of their actions and their consequences. This level of accountability can be empowering because it allows us to take control of the narrative around the mistake. Instead of letting others speculate or fill in the gaps, admitting what went wrong and why demonstrates transparency and a commitment to resolving the issue. This approach not only preserves trust, but can also strengthen relationships, as people are more likely to respect those who accept responsibility rather than evade it. Admitting mistakes can also foster collaboration and problem solving. When someone is open about their error, it invites others to join the process of finding a solution. This openness creates an environment where people feel safe to share their ideas and insights, knowing they won't be judged or penalized for addressing problems directly. It's in these moments of collective problem solving that creativity and innovation often thrive. Admitting a mistake can be the catalyst for uncovering new approaches or strategies that might not have been explored otherwise, all because someone had the courage to say, "This didn't work. Let's figure out how to fix it together." In leadership, admitting mistakes is one of the most powerful ways to model strength and integrity. Leaders who acknowledge their errors demonstrate that they value honesty over appearances. They show their teams that it's okay to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them without fear of undue repercussions. This kind of culture encourages growth, resilience, and continuous improvement, as individuals are more willing to take ownership of their actions and seek constructive feedback. Moreover, a leader who admits mistakes sets an example of humility and approachability, making it easier for team members to connect with them and trust their guidance. Admitting mistakes is also an essential step in personal growth. When we deny or ignore errors, we miss opportunities to learn from them. Every mistake carries a lesson, whether it's about our decision-making process, how we communicate with others, or how we approach challenges. Humility allows us to recognize these lessons and use them to improve. The act of admitting a mistake isn't just about acknowledging what went wrong. It's about taking the first step toward making it right. By addressing our errors openly, we create opportunities to grow and ensure we don't repeat the same mistakes in the future. This ability to grow from mistakes extends to how we view failure as a whole. Admitting mistakes helps reframe failure as a natural and necessary part of the journey to success. Instead of seeing mistakes as something to be avoided at all costs, we begin to see them as valuable feedback. They provide us with insights into what doesn't work, why it doesn't work, and what might work better next time. This shift in perspective not only helps us approach mistakes with less fear, but also strengthens our resilience as we learn to see setbacks as temporary and surmountable. The act of admitting mistakes also humanizes us. It reminds others that we are not perfect, and that's okay. This vulnerability often fosters stronger connections because it invites others to relate to us on a deeper level. People appreciate authenticity and find it refreshing when someone is willing to admit their flaws openly. This kind of honesty can break down barriers, reduce tension, and create an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding, whether it's in a workplace, a friendship, or a family dynamic. Admitting mistakes not only builds trust with others, but also with ourselves. It reinforces the idea that we are capable of facing difficult truths and working through them constructively. By confronting our errors head-on, we build confidence in our ability to handle challenges and navigate complexities. Over time, this practice strengthens our character and helps us approach life with greater self-assurance and perspective. Humility fosters collaboration and collective success by creating an environment where diverse voices are valued and contributions are recognized. When individuals approach situations with humility, they acknowledge that no one person has all the answers, and that the best outcomes often come from a combination of perspectives. This openness breaks down barriers, allowing people to work together towards shared goals with a sense of mutual respect and understanding. Humility removes the ego-driven need to dominate conversations or take credit, replacing it with a willingness to listen, learn, and contribute meaningfully to a greater cause. Collaboration thrives when everyone involved feels heard and respected. Humility lays the foundation for this dynamic by encouraging individuals to focus on the collective effort rather than seeking personal recognition. In a humble environment, people prioritize the quality of the work and the success of the group over their own agenda. This shift in focus fosters a sense of unity and purpose, as individuals become motivated by the idea of contributing to something larger than themselves. By acknowledging the strengths and expertise of others, humility creates a culture where collaboration is not only possible but highly productive. One of the most important aspects of humility is its ability to level the playing field. When people enter a collaborative space with humility, they set aside their titles, accomplishments, or perceived superiority. This act of leveling makes it easier for everyone to contribute, regardless of their background or position. It ensures that the best ideas rise to the surface, rather than being overshadowed by the loudest or most assertive voices. This inclusivity is particularly important in teams and organizations where innovation is key, as it allows for a wide range of ideas and perspectives to shape the outcome. Humility also encourages better communication, a cornerstone of successful collaboration. When people approach conversations with humility, they listen with the intent to understand rather than to respond or prove a point. This kind of active listening allows for more open and constructive dialogue where misunderstandings are minimized and solutions are co-created. Humility ensures that feedback is received with openness and that differing viewpoints are explored rather than dismissed. This communication style not only strengthens relationships but also leads to better decision-making as all available information and perspectives are considered. In the workplace, humility fosters a culture where collaboration is prioritized over competition. When individuals or teams operate with a competitive mindset, they can become focused on outperforming each other rather than working together. This competition can lead to silos, mistrust, and inefficiencies. On the other hand, humility shifts the focus toward the collective good. Teams become more inclined to share resources, knowledge, and support, recognizing that their success is interconnected. Leaders who model humility encourage this behavior by showing that collaboration is valued and that everyone has an important role to play in achieving success. Humility also helps navigate conflicts that may arise during collaboration. In any group effort, disagreements and differing opinions are inevitable. However, humility allows individuals to approach conflicts with a mindset of curiosity rather than defensiveness. Instead of trying to assert their viewpoint or win the argument, humble collaborators seek to understand the other perspective and find common ground. This approach not only resolves conflicts more effectively, but also strengthens the team dynamic, as it reinforces the idea that disagreements are an opportunity for growth and learning, rather than a threat to one's ego. The connection between humility and collaboration is also evident in how recognition is shared. In a humble environment, individuals understand the importance of celebrating collective achievements and giving credit where it is due. Rather than hoarding accolades or downplaying others' contributions, humble collaborators actively uplift their peers and acknowledge their efforts. This act of recognition boosts morale and fosters a sense of belonging as people feel appreciated and valued for their work. It also strengthens trust, which is essential for long-term collaboration and success. Humility has a profound impact on leadership, which is a key factor in fostering collaboration. Leaders who lead with humility recognize the importance of empowering their teams and creating an environment where everyone feels comfortable contributing. These leaders prioritize the development of their team members and focus on enabling others to succeed rather than simply asserting authority. This style of leadership not only enhances collaboration but also drives engagement and productivity as individuals feel supported and motivated to give their best. In addition to its impact on relationships and team dynamics, humility influences how people approach challenges during collaboration. Humble individuals are less likely to see setbacks as personal failures and more likely to view them as opportunities for collective problem solving. This perspective encourages resilience and creativity as teams work together to overcome obstacles and find innovative solutions. The sense of shared responsibility created by humility ensures that challenges are met with unity rather than blame or finger-pointing. By fostering an environment of respect, trust, and inclusivity, humility amplifies the potential of collaboration. It shifts the focus from individual accomplishments to collective achievements, creating a culture where people are inspired to work together and bring out the best in each other. Humility unlocks the power of teamwork by aligning efforts toward a common vision, ensuring that success is shared and celebrated by all. Adaptability stems from a willingness to change and learn, because it requires the ability to see the world with fresh eyes and respond to its evolving demands. At its core, adaptability is rooted in the humility to admit that what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. This mindset allows us to approach challenges with openness, rather than rigidity, and to view change not as a disruption, but as an opportunity for growth. People who embrace adaptability thrive in uncertain, dynamic environments, as they possess the ability to adjust their strategies and perspectives to meet the demands of new circumstances. One of the key components of adaptability is the willingness to let go of old ways of thinking. Often people hold on to familiar methods or beliefs because they provide a sense of comfort or control. However, true adaptability requires the humility to recognize when those methods are no longer effective. It involves asking the tough questions: is there a better way? What can I learn from this situation? How can I evolve to meet the needs of this moment? These questions lead to a mindset of continuous improvement where growth takes precedence over clinging to outdated ideas or practices. Adaptability also requires a deep sense of self-awareness. It's about understanding your strengths and limitations and being open to feedback that challenges your assumptions. Self-awareness allows you to identify areas where growth is needed and to take proactive steps to improve. For example, someone who is adaptable might recognize that their communication style isn't resonating with a particular audience. Instead of becoming defensive or doubling down on their approach, they are open to learning new strategies and adjusting their methods. This ability to self-reflect and pivot is a hallmark of adaptable individuals. In professional settings, adaptability is often the difference between success and stagnation. Industries, markets, and technologies are constantly evolving, and those who fail to adapt risk becoming obsolete. Individuals and organizations that prioritize adaptability stay ahead of the curve by remaining curious and flexible. They seek out new knowledge, embrace innovation, and remain open to changing their strategies as needed. This willingness to change doesn't imply a lack of direction or conviction. Rather, it reflects the understanding that growth requires constant learning and adjustment. Adaptability also enhances resilience as it equips people to navigate setbacks and challenges more effectively. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and those who are adaptable recognize that change is inevitable. Instead of resisting or fearing change, they embrace it with curiosity and a problem-solving mindset. This approach allows them to bounce back from adversity and find creative solutions to new challenges. For example, a professional faced with unexpected changes in their industry might see this as an opportunity to develop new skills or explore alternative career paths. By focusing on what they can control and adapting to the situation, they turn potential setbacks into opportunities for growth. Humility plays a crucial role in adaptability because it enables individuals to approach new situations with an open mind. When people lack humility, they are often unwilling to admit they don't have all the answers or to seek guidance from others. This rigidity can make it difficult to adapt because it creates a barrier to learning and collaboration. In contrast, humility fosters a willingness to listen, ask questions, and learn from others, which are essential components of adaptability. It allows individuals to draw on the collective knowledge and experience of their teams, making them better equipped to navigate change. Adaptability also promotes stronger relationships as it encourages people to be flexible and accommodating their interactions with others. Every relationship requires a degree of compromise and adjustment, whether it's with colleagues, friends, or family members. Adaptable individuals are able to recognize and respond to the needs of those around them, making it easier to build trust and maintain healthy connections. This flexibility is particularly valuable in diverse teams or environments where different perspectives and approaches must coexist. In leadership, adaptability is a critical skill because it enables leaders to guide their teams through change with confidence and empathy. Leaders who are adaptable recognize that their role is not just to set a vision, but also to adjust that vision as circumstances evolve. They are willing to learn from their team members, embrace new ideas, and pivot strategies when necessary. By modeling adaptability, they create a culture where change is seen as an opportunity rather than a threat, inspiring their teams to embrace challenges and pursue innovation. Adaptability also fosters creativity and innovation because it encourages experimentation and the willingness to take risks. Those who are adaptable understand that failure is an inevitable part of the process, and that each setback provides valuable insights for future efforts. This perspective allows them to explore new approaches and ideas without fear of judgment or rejection. Over time, this cycle of learning and iteration leads to breakthroughs that might not have been possible with a more rigid mindset. By embracing change and remaining open to learning, individuals and teams create opportunities for continuous improvement and success. Adaptability ensures that we can face the complexities and uncertainties of life with confidence, curiosity, and resilience. It reminds us that growth is an ongoing journey and that our ability to evolve is one of our greatest strengths. Empathy bridges divides and builds meaningful connections by enabling people to understand and share the feelings of others. It is the ability to put oneself in someone else's shoes, to see the world through their eyes, and to respond with genuine care and understanding. Empathy fosters relationships that go beyond surface-level interactions because it creates a sense of trust and emotional resonance. At its core, empathy is an acknowledgement of our shared humanity, reminding us that everyone has their own struggles, experiences, and perspectives that shape who they are. One of the most powerful aspects of empathy is its ability to dismantle barriers. In any group or community, differences in background, beliefs, or priorities can lead to misunderstandings and conflict. Empathy allows individuals to step outside of their own frame of reference and make an effort to understand where others are coming from. This process does not necessarily mean agreeing with every perspective, but it does involve recognizing the validity of someone else's experiences. This recognition softens defenses, fosters dialogue, and paves the way for collaboration and problem solving. Empathy also promotes emotional intelligence, a critical component of strong interpersonal relationships. When people practice empathy, they become more attuned to the needs and emotions of others. This awareness allows them to respond in ways that are supportive and meaningful, strengthening bonds and building trust. For example, when a colleague is struggling with a heavy workload, an empathetic response might involve offering assistance or simply taking the time to listen. These small acts of understanding can have a profound impact, making the individual feel valued and supported. In the workplace, empathy is a key driver of effective leadership and team dynamics. Leaders who lead with empathy create an environment where employees feel heard, respected, and valued. They take the time to understand the unique strengths, challenges, and motivations of their team members, which enables them to provide tailored guidance and support. This approach not only boosts morale, but also increases engagement and productivity, as people are more likely to give their best when they feel genuinely cared for. Furthermore, empathetic leaders are better equipped to navigate difficult conversations and resolve conflicts because they can balance the needs and perspectives of all parties involved. Empathy is also a powerful tool for fostering diversity and inclusion. In a world where people often encounter individuals with vastly different life experiences, empathy serves as a bridge that connects us despite our differences. By making an effort to understand and appreciate these differences, individuals can create spaces where everyone feels valued and included. Empathy challenges biases and stereotypes by humanizing others, reminding us that each person has a story worth hearing. This inclusive mindset not only enriches relationships but also enhances creativity and innovation, as diverse perspectives lead to richer ideas and solutions. Practicing empathy can also transform how we handle conflict and disagreement. It is natural for people to have differing opinions or priorities, but these differences need not lead to hostility or division. Empathy allows individuals to approach disagreements with curiosity rather than judgment, seeking to understand the underlying concerns or emotions driving the other person's stance. This approach opens the door to more constructive conversations where both parties feel respected and are more likely to reach a mutually beneficial resolution. It also reduces the likelihood of resentment or animosity, as empathy shifts the focus from winning the argument to understanding and collaboration. Empathy's impact extends beyond individual relationships to society as a whole. When people cultivate empathy on a larger scale, it fosters a sense of community and collective responsibility. Empathy compels us to care not just for those who are close to us, but also for those who are different or distant. It motivates acts of kindness, generosity, and advocacy for social causes. For instance, when someone hears a story about people affected by natural disasters or systemic injustice, empathy inspires them to take action, whether by donating, volunteering, or raising awareness. This ripple effect of empathy contributes to a more compassionate and connected world. The practice of empathy also deepens our own emotional resilience and self-awareness. When we empathize with others, we develop a greater appreciation for the complexities of the human experience. This understanding helps us navigate our own challenges with greater perspective and patience, as we recognize that struggle is a universal part of life. Additionally, empathy encourages us to reflect on our own biases and assumptions, prompting personal growth and a more open-minded approach to the world around us. In education and parenting, empathy plays a crucial role in nurturing the development of others. Teachers who practice empathy create supportive learning environments where students feel safe to express themselves and take risks. Parents who empathize with their children's feelings foster trust and emotional security, which are essential for healthy development. Empathy in these contexts allows for deeper connections and more effective guidance, as the focus shifts to understanding the individual's needs and empowering them to grow. Empathy is not simply an innate trait, but a skill that can be cultivated through intentional practice. It involves listening without judgment, asking open-ended questions, and being fully present in interactions. Over time, these habits help individuals become more attuned to the emotions and perspectives of others. By making empathy a priority in our daily lives, we strengthen our relationships, bridge divides, and create spaces where meaningful connections can thrive. Self-awareness transforms humility into personal growth by providing a clear lens through which we can view our strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. It is the foundation upon which we build our understanding of who we are and how we interact with the world. With self-awareness, humility becomes more than a passive state of modesty. It becomes an active commitment to learning and evolving. By honestly assessing ourselves, we gain the clarity needed to embrace our flaws and strengths equally. And this clarity allows us to grow both personally and professionally. The first step in self-awareness is the willingness to look inward, which requires courage and humility. It is not always easy to confront our limitations or acknowledge mistakes, especially when doing so challenges the image we want to present to others. However, this process of introspection is essential for personal growth. When we take the time to reflect on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, we begin to understand the patterns that influence our actions. This understanding creates the space for change and improvement, as it allows us to identify areas where we can grow and become more effective in our pursuits. Self-awareness also fosters a deeper understanding of our motivations. Often our actions are driven by subconscious desires or fears that we may not fully recognize. By cultivating self-awareness, we can examine why we make certain choices and what truly drives us. This understanding enables us to align our actions with our values and long-term goals. When humility is paired with this awareness, it becomes easier to make adjustments without the need for external validation or fear of judgment. We can recognize that growth is not about proving our worth, but about becoming the best version of ourselves. Another important aspect of self-awareness is recognizing the impact we have on others. Our words and actions ripple outwards, influencing those around us in ways we may not always realize. Humility helps us approach this awareness with an open mind and a willingness to learn from feedback. Instead of becoming defensive or dismissive when others point out areas where we fall short, we can use these moments as opportunities for growth. This openness strengthens relationships, builds trust, and creates an environment where constructive feedback is welcomed and valued. Self-awareness also plays a critical role in managing our emotions. By understanding how we respond to different situations, we gain the ability to regulate our reactions and approach challenges with greater composure. Humility complements this emotional intelligence by helping us remain grounded, even in the face of success or adversity. When we are self-aware, we recognize that our emotions are not fixed but are influenced by our thoughts and perspectives. This recognition empowers us to choose how we respond rather than being controlled by impulsive reactions or external circumstances. Another way self-awareness transforms humility is by encouraging a growth mindset. Instead of viewing abilities and intelligence as fixed traits, self-aware individuals understand that they are capable of learning and evolving. This perspective shifts the focus from proving oneself to improving oneself. With humility, we embrace the idea that no matter how much we achieve or learn, there is always more to discover. This mindset fuels curiosity and resilience, allowing us to approach challenges as opportunities rather than threats. In professional settings, self-awareness is an invaluable asset that enhances leadership and teamwork. Leaders who are self-aware are better equipped to understand their own leadership style and its effects on their team. They can identify their strengths and weaknesses, allowing them to leverage what they excel at and seek support in areas where they need improvement. Humility amplifies this process by encouraging leaders to prioritize the needs of their team over their team. By being transparent about their journey of self-improvement, leaders inspire their team to embrace growth and view mistakes as learning experiences. Self-awareness also strengthens collaboration by fostering empathy and understanding. When individuals are aware of their own biases and communication styles, they can adapt to connect more effectively with others. This adaptability creates an environment of inclusivity and respect where diverse perspectives are valued. Humility ensures that these interactions are rooted in a genuine desire to learn from others rather than to assert dominance or control. In this way, self-awareness and humility together create a culture where collaboration thrives and mutual respect flourishes. Another transformative aspect of self-awareness is its role in setting realistic goals and expectations. When we truly understand our capabilities and limitations, we are better able to set objectives that challenge us without being unattainable. This balanced approach reduces frustration and increases the likelihood of success. Humility reinforces this by allowing us to accept setbacks as part of the learning process rather than as reflections of our worth. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, we remain motivated to continue growing and improving. Lastly, self-awareness deepens our sense of purpose. By understanding what truly matters to us and what we want to contribute to the world, we can align our actions with our values and aspirations. Humility ensures that this journey is not about seeking recognition, but about creating meaningful impact. Through self-awareness, we develop clarity about our goals and how they fit into a larger context. This alignment provides a sense of fulfillment and direction that propels us forward on the path of growth and contribution. Let me share a quick story. Imagine a leader one who walks into a room and commands respect, not by shouting orders, but by listening intently. This leader asks for feedback, values every voice in the room, and isn't afraid to admit mistakes. That leader inspires loyalty, creativity, and innovation. That leader succeeds not because of arrogance, but because of humility. Humility doesn't mean you shy away from your strengths. It means you use them to lift others. It doesn't mean you downplay your achievements. It means you recognize the contributions of those who helped you get there. Success fueled by humility is sustainable because it's rooted in relationships, growth, and adaptability. It's not a quick sprint fueled by ego. It's a marathon driven by purpose. So as you leave here today, I challenge you to embrace humility not as a sign of weakness, but as a source of strength. Be curious. Be open. Be willing to learn from anyone at any time. Because when you lead with humility, you don't just achieve success, you inspire it in others. And that's how true, lasting change happens. Thank you.